that same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. And living the true gods, giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
All right. Welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially, and this is the weekly wrap-up. And today we are talking about true icons versus tethering of history. And I think, as you could tell, the premise of this conversation is pretty clear. So with that being said, as you are coming in, please like and share this broadcast. Please like and share this broadcast. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, then, you should do so at this time. Go ahead and subscribe. And if you so choose, you can also become a member of this channel as well. So, salute to you. And if this is your first time here, greetings to you. And we're going to get going right into it because we're in kind of like a beginning of a winter storm of some sorts, and we having a lot of wind, talking about like 60-mile-per-hour gusts. So I'm going to get through this broadcast before the power go out. Hopefully it don't. So fingers crossed. So with that being said, let's see who we got in the house tonight. One who cares in the house. Greetings, my good sister. Always good to see you in the house. And Blueberry Muffin in the building. Blueberry Muffin has also renewed her membership over here and the good fellowship of the Beatzilla PDX official show. I appreciate your attendance as always, my good sister. And like I have told y'all before, if you wonder who that voice is in our spaces that we have played, y'all have asked. This is her. So that this is who that voice, that strong black first voice belongs to. So shout out to you, my good I5 sister. Appreciate you being here. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. And Patricia Slade in the building. Welcome, Jersey City in the house. Black first, as always, my good sister. Appreciate you being here. And let me see who I got. Somebody. Let me see. Sister, I believe that. Let me go in there. Okay, so shout out to Doris for the CashApp donation. I appreciate that. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. I appreciate that. Yes, indeed. Salute to you, my good sister. I appreciate that. Yeah, all right. All right, so let's see who else we got. Keith Prince in the house. Keith Prince is in the building. Shout out to you, my good sister. Always good to see you. Crew Reality in the building. Always good to see you in the house, my brother. And we got Judah Queen in the building. Black First. Always good to see you, my good sister. Lynette Williams in the building. Black First Montgomery, Alabama in the house. Shout out to you, my good sister. DM Sinister in the house. Black First, Iowa. Wow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. David Boyd in the house. Shout out to you. Salute to you, my brother. Black First. And we got brother Buginis in the house. Yes, I see they're still going out there to hire non-FBA. You see them pictures? It shows, that this is purpose. And we're also going to take a look at their page, the people who put that out, because when you go to their Twitter page or their X page, it becomes obvious what. Oh, okay. Now it'll all make sense. We have Miss D at Suite 201. Salute to you, Miss D at Suite 201. Always good to see you in the building. And David Boyd. That's I thought so, brother. I thought you was coming from the Bronx. So salute to you, my good brother. And Brian Henderson in the building. Columbia, South Carolina. Yes, indeed. And out there in Columbia, South Carolina, there is a function going on this weekend. I believe Brother Marcel and Brother Black Alpha Network will be out there, and I'm sure plenty of the foundational Black American family that's out that way will be making their way to this event, to where they're really stumping out there hard for Joe Biden. So salute to all of y'all who can attend that event and make your foundational Black American voices heard. Reginald Jeter in the building, Black First, as always, my good brother. Thank you for being here. And we got our good sister, Miriam, in the house. I see you, my good sister. Thank you, as always, for being right here in the house. Yes, indeed. You said, oh, yes, indeed. Oh, I saw you at the top. So you were the very first one. Yeah, you were the very first one who cares. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's see. D Foster. Oh, you say here too. I got you now. I got you. D Foster, Black First, my good brother. Always good to see you in the building. Thank you for being here. Extreme X. Hello, Black people. Always good to see my folks. Thank you. And yes, Miriam said, Black First to our master teacher, Khalid Muhammad, our foundational Black American warrior, revolutionary scholar. You better know it. And see, we're yeah, we're gonna be getting to that too. And we have Rhonda Smith in the building. Welcome, Rhonda Smith. So as y'all know, just like as Sister Miriam just said, it's not just Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday weekend, but this week has also marked today, mind you, is Dr. Khalid Muhammad's birthday. So, with that being said, we have never really shied away from playing Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Some good listening, some good road traveling listening. You guys might treat yourself to some of those old lectures of Dr. Khalid Muhammad. It was definitely it gets you through a few hours on the road. I'll tell you that. And for a lot of y'all who are on the road a lot, that's something also you could do. A lot of our old scholars have lectures available. They might be in video form, so you might have to like they got apps out there that you could convert the audio or whatever. I would strongly advise y'all looking into that. And so with that being said, we are also celebrating Dr. Khalid Muhammad as well. And so there were a few clips, that we have played here before. And all of a sudden I started getting weird strikes. So I had to be a little different. And we're going to use the audio but of these two interactions. But let's just hear how our elder conducted himself with a conversation of somebody who is from the group of people who have always tried to maintain oppression over Black folk.
Around that situation cannot be discussed on camera.
Why?
because no wise soldier, nor general, nor freedom fighter, revolutionary, nor warrior discusses that kind of sensitive subject on camera or with a member of that people who have worked so hard to put us in this condition and position and keep us in this position and condition.
It sounds like you're talking about covert military operations.
It sounds like I'm not talking about anything. But let's pull over right here and let me run in and get my coat.
Yeah.
Careful. If you don't want that kind of response from me, don't ask me. Do you realize where we're standing? Do you realize where we are? We're standing where my brother was shot down in cold blood.
But I've met people, black people, who are arguing for a non-violent
Well, they're
solution.
brainwashed black people who want to be accepted by whites, and they really want this thing to work. The foolish among my people keep believing in the American dream, which is nothing but an American nightmare. Black people have tried to get along with white people, and many of us are finished with that.
Salute to Dr. Khalid Muhammad. And I recently played this clip of our brother. Here's another.
Oh, yeah, some of you don't like that. You say Africa don't owe us nothing. Oh, hell yes, they do. Some continental Africans brag about the slave trade. Some of them say, oh, my father and my great-grandfather was in the slave business. I mean, they're pompous Negroes. And they walk you out and show you everything that they have. Like they little white women or little white men.
Now, somebody not so long ago said, and all these other people coming out like Mark Lamont Hill talking about how you can't distance yourself from Africa, blah, blah, blah. I showed you what Martin Luther King said. I opened the show with this statement from him. I mean, think about it. We have no tie to that place. We don't know that. And the realization, number one, the whole conversation of being African. They're like, I posed the question, where do we, where are we actually supposed to go to in this return? You know what I'm saying? So with that, I want to make sure that y'all understand our master scholars and warrior teachers were not about looking out for everyone without making sure home, which is us, was shored up first. And since that wasn't done, this home team was the only talk of our agenda all the way back then. And that is Black power. Not a broad brush of black, and other people have suffered for the fight that we fight. That has nothing to do with us. But with that being said, what would this person say, or what would that person say? Well, to the people that we subscribe to, this is what they say.
You just want to claim a spot for the whole thing. Africa is not our home. Let me let that hang in the atmosphere for a while. I said at this gathering of the masters, Africa is not your home. It's not our home. But I know my roots. And I ain't Kunta Kinte. But I know my roots. And I ain't Kunta Kinte. But I know my roots. And I ain't Kunta Kinte. But I know my...
The home that your ancestors built, people want you to give that away. Only now at a time to when reparations is the conversation of the day. And most of this talk is about funneling your money over to Africa, which again is a continent. And how, when we really think about the conversation of doing business with Africa, how long have, and okay, first off, is every country in that continent independent? We talk about Africa in this vein of we're going home, when some of the people in some of those nations have dual citizenships in the UK. These are things that I guess probably people don't think of, but you know, that's the reality of it. We gonna go home and leave our birthright here while these people have a citizenship in Kenya and in London at the same time. Same with the Nigerians. Are you kidding? I don't think so. That's the game they play. And shoot, right now, we can't even escape these foreign-born tethers, and these people have no, how shall I say it? No kind of moral compass to say. And don't get me wrong, there are people, I'm not saying every single African is this. No, what I'm saying is the group that we refer to as tethers that knowingly know who we are, knowingly try to pose as us to get over, and then at the same time disrespecting us and our lineage and heritage here while bolstering theirs when everything that they got is due to foundational Black America. That's a tether. And what we're seeing is our history being tethered by way of all of these newfound projects and whatnot. You know, that's one thing that is happening an awful lot. You know, how can Cynthia Erivo, I mean, in all honesty, to really be, she's not the great singer that they try to make her up to be. She's most definitely not the greatest actress. And now that we're seeing a lot of these movies are failing, I think some of the things we are seeing right now, especially with The Color Purple failing the way it did, it tanked right after Christmas Day. I think that sent a message, more so politically than anything that Hollywood would ever be bothered by. And you know how? It's because of what you're seeing right now. You're seeing all kind of people popping out the woodwork. Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, we just talked about them. Andrew Gillum. They're trying to revive these people who are already ran off the block because of their ineffectiveness. Now they said, well, hey, let's come back as a super force. And then what we'll do is we'll come on out. I mean, pretty soon, just imagine one of the people that they're probably going to end up talking to is like Michael Eric Dyson. He going to get on there because, you know, this is supposed to be like the unfiltered, unadulteratedly Black space. And so, you know, he gonna get in there like, you know, hey, my brother, effervescent brothers and sisters. And see, I'm glad I can come over here and talk to y'all because, see, I can keep it real with y'all over here, you know, my good brothers and sisters. As I educate you, I have to understand, and you have to understand that I am the teacher and you are the student. I mean, look at all the chocolate brown melanin dripping off of one Ketanji Brown Jackson. And y'all Negroes said, well, she's not good enough because she has a white man. Y'all remember that foolishness? Chi Banana, what is going on? Thank you for being here, Black First. Y'all remember that? Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Terry Jones, Black First, my brother. Oh, man. Now, and here's the thing. These people are imploding so much that this is the new wave. They got some. I'm looking at the names of these people, and who is these folks? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at these folks, and I mean, the question has to be asked.
Where's your family from?
So let's take a look here. Okay, let me make this bigger here. Yikes. So here's their, this is what they started putting out in October. So this is their little trailer. Let's come in here.
I don't think you can understand who Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was and his legacy without understanding the legacy of Malcolm X.
It was very interesting to see them side by side, but in different places.
They had the same objectives. They had the same goals.
Their approach is just a little different. They're just reaching people that the other miss.
There's a preconception they were both against each other.
What's up with these accents, family?
Over time, they really become people who influence the other.
It's as though they're speaking to each other throughout history.
We understand. We made it last.
Right and ready for Black History Month. Okay.
I don't think you can.
We're done with that. Okay. Oh man, no, sir. All right, let's keep going down. Let's see what more they have. And they're really, they're kind of trying to hype these things up. Look at the people they got playing these folks. Is this article? Will this open? Okay, hold on. I have to share this one still. What happens? Oh, man. Okay, let me get that up the screen. Oh, wow. So, genius. MLK-X sets for four leads, including Kelvin Harrison Jr. as Martin Luther King Jr., Aaron Pierre as Malcolm X, now, sisters, how do y'all feel about this one? How do y'all feel about this one? How does this one rub you? So for Coretta Scott King and Betty Shabazz, they went and got some Arrivos. I mean, that's almost as bad as what is it? I Want to Dance with Somebody. I mean, man, they oh, man. All right. Let's get to it. So Coretta Scott King is played by Waruchi Opia and Jamie Lawson playing Betty Shabazz. And both of them women have English accents from what I could tell. Oh, wait. What? So Calvin Harrison Jr., the Trials, the Chicago 7 will star as Dr. Martin Luther King. Aaron Pierre, the Underground Railroad as Malcolm X. Waruchi Opia, I May Destroy You as Coretta Scott King. I guess that's what these people are from. Jamie Lawson, the Batman, as Betty Shabazz. Channing Godfrey Channing Godfrey Peoples, Miss Juneteenth, will direct the pilot episode and will serve as co-executive producer. Okay. Several historians and experts had come on board as production consultants prior to the start of the writer's room of writer's room to guide the narrative. Principal photography on the series from 20th Television, Image Television, and Reggie Rock Bythewood and Gina Prince Bythewood. That's Woman King, right? That's Woman King and Get Your Booties to the Pole, woman, right? Ain't that who that is? If my memory serves me correct. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's enough of this. I want to go back to because I want y'all to see something here. Let me get it back up. All right. So because I really wasn't meaning to go into that article anyway. Because their page will suffice. All right. So let's get a good look at these folks. What y'all think? Not quite certain. And that's who's playing Martin Luther King.
Where's your family from?
You chose this guy for Malcolm X. This was the representation of the manly strength of a father of, was it 5 children? And with that last name, we don't really have to ask.
Where's your family from?
Is this Waruchi? Opia? I bet you she knows how to make some jollof. I bet she knows how to make some jollof. Sister Lady Effa, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. Well, not that we have to ask. Or, what do you mean? Where am I from?
Where's your family from?
Mm-hmm. Now, really?
Where's your family from?
Jeez. And she got her forehead good and covered up. Jamie. But by the way, it's spelled, it's like, oh, that's that Brit stuff, right? Yeah. Okay. And so, in further investigation of this National Geographic genius thing, they just started making a strong pivot to this. So this is their next biographical move. This was their last the Revo. Yeah, I just can't. And then BET, you kind of should be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all, here's BET shouting out Cynthia Erivo. Turn that off. But I mean, BET is Viacom, so it's not like it's black owned anymore. So it really doesn't matter. But I mean, just the way that they're trying to promote Cynthia. No, Cynthia Erivo's her portrayals just simply heart stopping. Yeah, I'll say heart stopping. It's so heart stopping that you're dead. I mean, what are you talking about? This woman here? No, sir. No, sir. Nah, I'm cool. Oh, Lord. Oh, she's just so talented. Lord. What's... Y'all, look at the wig, family. Wow, they got a good James Cleveland.
I'm found.
One thing's for certain. Cynthia Erivo was not raised in black church. You know, that's for certain. The funny part about it is they use her So she was Harriet. You know, I've skimmed through a lot of hair. I could tell you I probably watched Harriet in 10 minutes. If it took me that long to just skip through, because I'm just like, okay, let me skip through when I think something's happening. I did not. That was about all that got. I'm like, okay, this is what I thought it was. And then the whole bigger, long character at the end, it's like, oh, God. And then the white dude, and then she giving him the whole speech. I'm not going to kill you. So the fictional white man that wasn't really part of the story at all, but they shoehorn him in there, and all of a sudden, this is the relevant relationship. So, you know, these people are proud to do things like this. And they have no energy connected to what's going on. I mean, that doesn't like anything I want to see. Ain't nothing about no them dudes. You're telling me that was the epitome of what you thought? Well, this once again proves what we have been talking about the attempted erasure, especially of foundational Black Americans. And now that we are talking about reparations so much more clearly and legibly, these folks are now turning up the speed to which they're trying to flood the zone and replace that precious voter base, that Black vote. And if you don't understand, you know, this is what Democrats sound like right now.
Immigrants in this country. Forget the fact that the farm, that our vegetables would rot in the ground if they weren't being picked by many immigrants, many illegal immigrants. The fact is that the birth rate in this country is way below replacement level, which means our population is going to start shrinking.
No, the birth rate in this country is fine. No, sir, the birth rate in this country is fine. Whose birth rate are you referring to? See, you understand what he talking about? So here's a Democrat basically saying the quiet part out loud and telling y'all, yeah, you know, got to get these immigrants in here, especially these illegal ones. They're the closest thing to these things that we can ever get. Have y'all ever just sat there and thought about what they really are doing with the legal aliens? The reason why they want them, it's the same reason why they have dogs. They love their pets. Think of when in slavery, dogs were used for hunting. Now dogs are used for comfort and companion. I wonder what changed. You know? So here this guy is telling you that, well, you know, I guess Dr. Francis Cress Wilson was right. Because these people are worried about genetic annihilation. He's telling you so. In the Senate floor here. What are we talking about?
And the ratio of people on Social Security and Medicare is going to increase relative to the number of people supporting them.
And you wonder why you're losing the black vote. Well, now they have to go talk to Charlemagne.
Black people. What are they saying they feel they have not gotten out of having voted consistently for Democrats and for Joe Biden?
Upward mobility. Simple as that. Like, people want security, and a lot of that security is financial. Like, it's simple and plain, and it's been.
And that's the truth of the matter. Security is financial. It's tangible. Because, you know, are you tangible, no votes, folks? I mean, are you tangible, no votes? Are you tangible? No vote, no tangibles? I mean, all of that sassy mouth crap don't work no more. I want both of these. Why can't I get both of those? Oh, well. I mean, it's amazing. I'm glad somebody's saying it now. And even if it is Charlemagne, out of all people, because Charlemagne is, you know, that's why he's been called out for being a shield. And here is, again, like I said, the price of selling your soul. When you sold the soap for Joe Biden after you sat up there and let that white man tell you.
I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
And as far as your so-called black leaders, as we should say, black misleaders, we ain't fooling with them because they would let the same dude get away with saying stuff like this in front of them.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. Hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
And so, by way of him flooding the zone, here we go. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Whether it was President Obama, whether it was, you know, all the way back to Clinton to now Joe Biden, they feel like the Democratic Party has never promised that. And it's like right now the problem I'm having with my listeners, what am I supposed to tell them? Like, right. What am I supposed to tell them other than, look, man, Donald Trump is the fastest. You may think things can't get worse, but they absolutely positively can. But if they feel like, I've already lived through a Trump presidency. Yeah. I lived through Reagan. How much worse can that get? Like, It's like, what do I tell them? They're not afraid of just telling them to go out and vote because, you know, because of fear anymore.
What fear should we have when, let me show y'all something. When we have elected officials doing stuff like this.
Room or suite in your home, please consider hosting a family. Safe housing and shelter is our most pressing need.
Insane.
Become a sponsor family. You can contact the Brazilian Worker Center for more information on how you can step up if you're willing to have an additional family be part of your family. If you're a local official, a college president, a business owner, or a faith leader with an available building or space in your community, please work with us to offer it as a shelter site. If you're a social service provider, please consider becoming an emergency assistance homeless shelter provider. Our resources are stretched thin there as well. And if you're a hotel or a motel owner, consider opening it up for emergency assistance. If you're a landlord or a property owner, we can use you too. We can connect you with service providers to help transition families in permanent housing. Offer.
Wow. So you have never heard a call put out to citizens to take in homeless. This is taking in complete, utter strangers who could be anyone, unvetted strangers. I mean, not a person who might have a relationship with the law enforcement already, so they know who this person is? No. You have a third world potential criminal just chilling in your spot because your local government asked you to open your doors. That's not safe, and that's not good leadership. That ain't good leadership at all. You're going to tell folks, open your door if you have room, if you have a spare room in your house. Are you out of your mind? These folks is nuts. These folks is nuts. So it must be this one. Okay, hold on real quick. Yeah, some of the things that are going on that might not get much attention, but there's some committees going on right now. And it's a good thing. I'm glad that this is happening because something that we don't often get a chance to see in all of this talk about shutting down the government and the government's going to shut down and these MAGA extremists and MAGA blah, blah, blah extremists. Let's hear from one person that they cannot call a MAGA extremist because, well, he's no Candace Owens. I don't know this particular dude's get down. He's a black Republican, but he tends to make sense when he talks. But, you know, like I said, he don't sound like Jesse Lee. But, hey, y'all in Texas, y'all would know better than me. So if there's some funny business on him, shoot me them clips to
it. Today, we're here to talk about the drain of illegal immigration, Biden's open border policies, and how they're affecting the American taxpayer. Recently, airline safety has also become an issue of paramount concern. People are concerned, or rather not, doors are going to fly off planes and panels, but I'm here to tell you about the issue that starts with safety long before anybody in this room will actually board a plane. Biden's open border policies are overburdening the TSA and making it more difficult for the TSA agents to do their jobs effectively. The TSA was created after 9/11 to oversee security in all modes of transportation, including aviation safety. As an American, you know we have to go through security screening and board a plane just like everybody else. And what you also may know is that the TSA has an entirely different standard for illegal immigrants. That's right. There's a different set of rules for you, the American public, and illegal immigrants. You've all seen the TSA checkline, of course. Well, I have news for you. Biden's DHS has created another line, and here is the picture to prove it. This is a line in the Tucson airport, specially made for non-citizens. And as you can see, the sign says, non-U.S. citizens without passports enter here. And without passports, that is just the tip of the iceberg. These illegal immigrants may go unvetted with no verifiable photo ID at all. And I guess Biden and Mayorkas want us all to trust that these people are going to say who they are based on just their honesty and their word alone. You know what a valid form of ID is for an illegal alien according to TSA today? An arrest warrant. I'm not making that up. You could get on a plane with an arrest warrant. And if an arrest warrant can get an illegal alien on a domestic flight, then why can't it get them a one-way ticket to jail where they belong? This is not only an assault on an American citizen, but a grave threat to our national security. I'm a member of Congress. I have TSA pre-check and clear. And when I get screened by TSA, I have to prove that I am who I say I am with an official government ID. For the record, my name is Wesley P. Hunt, as in Parish Hunt. But if my airline ticket says Wesley J. Hunt, this United States congressman ain't getting on the plane. The TSA is tasked with airline security, but they're letting illegal immigrants on our planes with unverifiable identities. We also know that in the last 2 years,
And you want us to support that. All of this 9/11, I mean, no, throw 9/11 out the window. You don't care. No, I mean, you are letting anyone in. When you have other countries' travel agencies providing packages for people to illegally enter into America, you have failed as a leader. And then you had these Democrats, instead of admitting to failure, what are they saying? Let's double down on it. We need more illegals. Who else is gonna pick our fields and mow our lawns? Now, if Donald Trump said, and I ain't no advocate for Trump, but you throw him in our face every moment you get. Like, hearing Donald Trump would be enough to tell us that, I don't know. I mean, because we're talking about reparations while you're talking about Donald Trump. We're not even in the same conversation. Oh, well, LGBTQ rights, that has nothing to do with us. Well, climate change, no, that has nothing to do with it. Well, voting, we already have our voting rights. All this voting right push, and be clear, we see what that's about. Well, we need to have a very quick, speedy way to a path to citizenship. No, the hell you don't. Oh, no, you don't. These folks is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And should not be trusted to save their lives. And so when this brother gets up there and they start talking about the social impact of this illegal immigration, it's a huge impact and a very, very liable risk. I mean, you basically saying, hey, every terrorist out there, come through the Mexican border, you're welcome. Good grief.
Years, over 200 people on the terrorist watch list have been caught at the border that we know of. And for the record, I'm a post 9/11 veteran. I deployed to Iraq. I'm a West Point grad. I fought for this country to keep those people out of our country, to keep it safer. And now we are failing the American public. I'm a Texan, born and raised in Houston, Texas. And Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, has taken steps to stop the flow of illegal immigration. And by the way, that's not his job. That's the federal government's job. Governor Abbott put buoys in a Rio Grande, set up fences and barbed wire, just to name a few protocols. And how did Biden reward Governor Abbott for his efforts? He sued the state of Texas. The federal government sued the state for doing the job the federal government should be doing by keeping you safe. This illegal invasion is a destruction of federal immigration law and the elimination of any sort of protocol on our southern border that is not the result of negligence, malfeasance, or incompetence. This is, in fact, the goal. And Biden is allowing this, he's not only allowing this catastrophe, he's facilitating it. And the goal of the Biden administration is to flood this country with tens of millions of illegal immigrants, fly them to a town near you, and if you question it, they'll call you a racist. There, I said it. The root cause of immigration begins and ends at 1600 Pennsylvania. If you want another 9/11 in this country, keep the border wide open. And I suggest that we don't. I yield back the rest of my time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Immigrants in this country. Forget the fact that the
And what I said was, meanwhile, this is what the Democrats are saying.
Farm that our vegetables would rot in the ground if they weren't being picked by many immigrants, many illegal immigrants. The fact is that the birth rate in this country is way below replacement level, which means our population is going to start shrinking. And the ratio of people on Social Security and Medicare is going to increase relative to the number of people supporting them.
And
School being used as a shelter.
You know, I think it's again, this is not it's not in my district. I think it's very clear here that what's most important is that we identify a facility that's appropriate for these folks. I don't anticipate this being a long-term solution. It shouldn't be a long-term solution.
No, because she wants pathways to citizenship for people who are illegally entering into this country to begin. Now, there was something I wanted to play from the other day. And in the midst of this just kills me. Again, you're there about Hunter Biden. This is the Hunter Biden inquiry or impeachment. And again, do y'all know that Hunter Biden is facing 17 years? So the sassy mammy squad has been activated to come out and neck roll, eye roll, and finger pop. I mean, in this I don't know how are you comfortable playing this character? Jasmine Crockett reminds me of y'all remember Dead, have y'all seen Dead President? And Lorenz Tate woman. Yeah, she was sweet to Cuddy. Then she was over here getting all off for being old brother man head. But that's who Jasmine Crockett reminds me. She was all being all sassy with Lorenz Tate's character. That's who Jasmine Crockett reminds me of. So for those of y'all who seen Dead President, that's who I'm saying this woman reminds me of. Lord.
And juries are comprised of American citizens, and the people that have entered pleas of guilty that will be flipping on your leader in a minute, they are Republicans. I do want to point that out. And half of them were Republicans that were handpicked by Donald Trump himself. So to be clear, whatever happens to your little leader, it's going to be because of the actions that he took. So you can talk all you want to about how January 6th was nonsense, but all of y'all were running at that time. Y'all were grabbing y'all's gas masks and y'all were running to your offices because you didn't know if they were coming to kill you. You should have cared that somebody was there to protect you, but instead you want to play games because you found out that it was your leader that decided that he wanted to propagate an insurrection on our country. So don't tell me that you care about the Constitution, because you don't. All you care about is Trump getting reelected, and I'll yield the last of my time to my leader.
Thank you very much, Ms. Crockett.
All y'all care about is Trump getting reelected. And what you doing, ma'am? Up here all sassy neck rolling on Capitol Hill. What are you talking about? This ain't a Medea movie. Good grief. Oh, Lord. Okay. Yikes. The sassy mammy squad. And as soon as here's my thing. Man, when you know it's Black woman Democratic shield when you see one, because they start the conversation with Trump, they end the conversation with Trump. You know, we talking about reparations. They're gonna be like, wait, you know, you sure ain't gonna get no reparations from Trump. We need an anti-hate crime bill. Well, you know you definitely ain't getting nothing that like that from the Trump and them extreme MAGA folk. I mean, man, you know them Republicans ain't gonna want to shine none of the policy. The foolishness never ceases. In the meantime, they would rather this story go away.
President Biden's
maybe
son
that's
is
the
being
problem.
arraigned on tax charges today in the state of California.
Hunter Biden faces 9 charges, including 3 felonies and 6 misdemeanors. If convicted, he could spend up to.
Oh, let's see what that say now. What do we have here on the screen? What are those charges there? Let's take a look here. Yeah. Oh no, Bugina's not Nabushe, her sister. Nabush Wright's sister, or Nabushe, the older sister. That's what I'm talking about. Now check out Hunter Biden's situation here. Hunter Biden federal tax charges: 2 counts of failing to file taxes, 4 counts of failing to pay taxes, and 2 counts of filing false or fraudulent returns. Felony. 1 count of evasion of assessment, also a felony. Damn.
17 years in prison. Today's hearing comes after a plea deal between the special counsel overseeing the case and Hunter Biden fell apart over the summer.
Joining us now, NBC's Tom Winter and David Noriega, who's outside the courthouse in Los Angeles. Tom, let's start with you. Talk to us about these charges Hunter Biden is facing and what we can expect to happen today.
Sure. So Hunter Biden and these charges are all tied to what prosecutors call a 4-year scheme to effectively not pay his taxes, whether it would be expensing certain things as business expenses, which were in fact used for his personal gain. We're talking about luxury automobiles, luxury hotels, prostitutes, other things that were for his personal benefit instead of a business benefit, or not paying the taxes that he needed to on certain income. Now, Hunter Biden's team will point out that, in fact, he did eventually pay back his taxes, that he has filed his returns, and so they're not quite so sure why this case should have been brought in the first place. Specific to today's hearing,
get that money
which
back
should
for the
begin
prostitutes?
in about an hour or so in Los Angeles in federal court there, we anticipate the hearing to take about an hour, and that Hunter Biden will be asked how he pleads. We're expecting a not guilty plea based on what I just told you and the feeling from the Hunter Biden legal team. And from there, the clock starts as far as a trial is concerned. Not clear that we'll get a trial date today, but we will at least get a better understanding of the timeline and when this could all occur. It is not typical that cases would be scheduled within a year in Los Angeles in federal court there, but it is possible a trial could happen as soon as this fall, which of course would be leading up to the election.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, that's interesting timing of those situations, ain't it? Now, they would like for that to go away, and it's not. You know, and now what you're hearing is a lot of people just trying to do the end around. Well, you know, I mean, you can't really say that he hasn't proved that he has any business of his father. He already said and held a press conference. That was what that was about. Meantime, yeah, Black Spider, prostitute. Oh, yes, indeed. Lord. Now, like I said, meanwhile, the Democrats are putting out ads like this. Now, I'll turn the music off there. Look now, look at what they're. Okay, so this is the agenda. So here is the agenda. Oh, wait, let me get that. Let me just put that over here. So What's on the ballot in 2024 for Joe Biden's Democrats? This is what he wants from the black voter base. Let's see. Protecting abortion rights, combating the climate crisis, accessible and affordable health care, protecting labor unions and workers' rights, protecting LGBTQ plus rights, gun safety reform. That's what you ran on last time, I thought. Oh, wait. Wait, there is that one part, where you were telling black people certain things, Joe, and making certain promises, right? Having backs and all. When you have people's backs, you have people's backs. Not saying the African community stood up for me again. You've always had my back, and I'll always show you mine. Oh, let's see what else. Okay. Protecting and strengthening Social Security and Medicare. Democracy and personal freedoms. What the hell does that mean? Democracy and personal freedoms. I'm assuming that would kind of just go back to protecting LGBTQ rights. Right? I mean, it makes sense to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Hey, hello, Sony. Black first, black first, black first as always, my good sister. Thank you for being here. Woo-wee. So this is what they're pushing. This is one of their ads. This is what we're going for in 2024. Yeah. Not a damn thing for us. I mean, but you mentioned a whole group. Like, see, here's the thing. How is your sexuality making you more of an American group than actually being an American group? They're I don't know. It's that's an odd dynamic when you think about it. It's like, okay, well, what are these personal freedoms? What's that part? I really am curious about what exactly does that mean? And what does it look like? You understand? Black women stand up. Salute to you, Black First. Thank you for being here this evening. And, in the land of the lost, there's always more that just keeps it coming. And here's what they talk about.
The #1 killer of the children of America. We can do something about it. Ma'am. No. Planned Parenthood would cover that. And if you add to all the money that you aid foreign countries bombing all of these other little places with children in them, ooh, no, it's not actually gun violence. It's your programs with abortion, and then you're funding other people's wars, who the people that you're funding are, I guess, you might get in trouble if you will allude to the idea that they're genocidal maniacs, and then they'll be like, hey, we've been through a whole genocide. That's, it's funny. Because people would say, You guys just want to get power because you want money and power because you can put white people in slavery. You go through the Holocaust just to go put other people through a Holocaust? So gun violence is the gun violence lie, which is a big sham. You know, that's how they do. Let's hear it.
Violence is the #1 killer of the children of America. We can do something about it. When I was speaking with these young leaders before I walked in here, they were talking about, hey, shouldn't we be looking at people's backgrounds before they can buy a gun? I said to them, you are absolutely right, because that's reasonable. That you might want to know before someone could buy a lethal weapon if they have been proven by a court to be a danger to themselves or others. You just might want to know.
There's already things in place. There's red flag laws now. What difference does it make if you refuse to only choose to enforce it? And when you choose to enforce it, you ignore your people like Peyton Gendridge and all of these other ones who were on people's radars, and Ethan Crumley's and all of these type of folks. Dylan Roof. All these people who were, they already raised the red flags, but y'all still let them get guns. Kid Gravity be armed. What's going on, my brother? Salute to you. Black first, as always. Good to see you in the house this evening. And Phantom Beat said, didn't Jerry Springer pay for a prostitute with a check? Check that bounce. I don't know. Good question. Damn. Wow. Yeah, that happened. That's news to me. But yikes. Oh, man. Yeah, let me have a little thing in here too. Also tried to go on a campaign stop in where is that, Ohio? And they told him to go home, Joe. They wasn't feeling it. Go home, Joe. Let me see. Can I find that? No, I won't worry about that. Okay. There's something I seen a little earlier. Oh, so real quick, the Christian, oh man, what's that guy's name? Yeah, Christian Obenseli or whatever. The video of him and his girlfriend then came out. Her just jumping all over. The thing that they're doing, it is very dishonest. I'll just put it like that. Because they're still trying. Well, we don't know how it went, and we don't know if it was murder or kill, or she had to kill him because of self-defense. We're unaware of that. Jonathan Majors hurt a girl's finger when trying to get away from said female who chased him down New York City blocks as he tried to escape her. I heard more of a big deal about that than I did about this woman here. And that is insane when you think about it, but it's true. So let me see. Also, just a second here. Okay. There was a bombing. And so for those of y'all who don't know, there's some major conflicts brewing up over in Gaza or over in that area, over in the Middle East. And I guess something happened today in Yemen. And these folks are trying to start a third world war. And I think that the writing is on the wall. It's kind of ended up becoming crystal clear. And when you go do something remember, they've always tried to get at Yemen as well, every chance to get, trying to strike, force these Iranians' hands. And then when the Iranians have to retaliate, then they'll cry foul like victims, which they're not. And then on top of that, all of this mess that they're doing messes with trade routes and shipping lanes. So it impacts the world financial scope of things. And they don't give a damn at all. And other people are sick of it. Just take a look. Wow. Them folks is pissed off. Them folks is pissed off, ain't they? Man. They got some things on their mind. And America is over here with a weak defense secretary. He got cancer. He's old and in the hospital. Done been in the hospital without even the president knowing. It's a whole issue out there. 8K Sour God in the house. What's going on, my brother? Black first. Good to see you in the house. Man, it's a mess. It is a mess. Oh. Oh, little something I got to show you. This is something. And where is it at? Why is it just skip? What's going on? Even the optics of this is just ridiculous. But hold on, let me get this in you. Okay. Also, the Republican debate that happened, well, I believe last night or either night before, was only between DeSantis and Haley. I guess they said Vivek probably didn't have enough votes or whatever, but he hasn't given up his campaign. And now he has gotten some assistance for his campaign from one Candace Owens.
On the bus with my friends, Steve King, Candace Owens. All right. We're excited for Scott County. We're in eastern Iowa. You got the snow out there, so things are running a little bit slower than usual, but things are going to be great, actually. We're excited. Got a lot of people coming out waiting for us, and I think we're going to have the media have a little bit of fun with this combination of people on the road, you know?
I think it's good.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think we're going to give them a little bit of a fun feel there. What do you think, Steve?
I think it's a fascinating conversation between you two. I don't know if I fit in our American society, but somehow I feel like I do.
Yeah, I think you do too. All right, guys. We're going to keep the day going. On the bus with my friends.
Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm sure Kid Gravity and Torian Rain Reloaded will definitely be giving that one some attention. Wow. Wow. But there's this other video that I came across, and talking about the hysteria I don't want that. Just to do what I needed to do. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this particular story right here, I really wanted to kind of go in on just to kind of show you how propaganda has been used, and it's always used to target us. That's why it's so important to make sure we control the discourse and we control the information that comes from us. Now, this is a TikTok video that goes on about the whole organized shoplifting thing and all the crime and the theft in the stores, because I've spoke about that here. I've done a couple broadcasts where we've clearly pointed out, even now that numbers are coming out, that even in my own city, the stores that they were closing because of where they were trying to use that guise of crime. Target really technically didn't put it out there, and neither did Walmart. But that was you know how these are corporations, so they'll have these little trolls out here to start pumping lines out into the wind. Oh, it's all about crime. It's all about crime. Meanwhile, the actual corporation never had to say anything. So they closed these things, and now it's turning out that hell no, it's not about crime, but it's so much deeper that it is a crime.
We're seeing a
Well,
lot
maybe.
of crime. We're seeing a lot of shoplifting, smash and grabs,
Premeditated stick-ups.
It's like Jesse James.
Did you know that the so-called shoplifting epidemic is basically bullshit? For the last 3 years, we've been bombarded with viral videos of shoplifters in action and endless news stories about the rise in organized retail crime. The corporations that own the stores were happy to fuel the hysteria. CEOs came out of the woodwork, left and right, trying to convince cable news viewers that theft was severely impacting their bottom line. The National Retail Federation, which is an industry lobbying group, reported that organized theft resulted in a staggering, heartbreaking loss of $45 billion for companies like these. As a result, stores were shut down, employees were laid off, while shoppers are forced to deal with heightened surveillance and armed security guards as they peruse items like deodorant locked behind plexiglass.
And then you see spam being locked up at this point.
No wonder I can't get my spam.
Well, that's the problem. All of this is happening because a massive wave of organized shoplifting has left these retailers really struggling to survive, right? Well, brace yourselves, because those corporate CEOs were actually lying to you. That's right. The whole hysteria over shoplifting is a scam. Let's take that frightening $45 billion figure. The Retail Federation just publicly retracted it. One analyst misread a Senate transcript and pretty much created a media panic out of nothing. If anything, shoplifting is actually down in most of the country, but that's not what you're going to hear on the news.
It's not happening, and we're not repeating the same thing over and over again.
Even top executives at these big retailers are openly admitting that they were full of it. A year after sounding the alarm on gangs emptying out their stores, one Walgreens finance chief says that, quote, "We cried too much last year about losses." This kind of dramatic reversal really underscores the need for some journalistic skepticism about retailers' claims about shoplifting. Across the board, media outlets have given these lies way too much oxygen, but the right-wing news machine has gone all in. They've seized this opportunity to portray big cities as liberal hellholes with toothless prosecutors and under-resourced police allowing thieves to run amok.
To fight the real problem, you need a ton of cops.
The crime panic might be manufactured, but the consequences are real. Across the country, tough-on-crime politicians are enacting policies like bans on ski masks and harsher sentences for shoplifting. Policies that won't solve anything and will disproportionately impact Black and brown people. At least 9 states have passed anti-shoplifting legislation, and Congress is looking to do the same nationally. The Combating Organized Retail Crime Act is a bipartisan bill introduced last year that would bring about way tougher penalties for shoplifting and make it easier to prosecute as a federal crime. If you can't change the law, you can always try throwing money and cops at a problem and hoping that it goes away. In California, Governor Gavin Newsom has pledged to spend $267 million on his Real Public Safety Plan, which is just handing out tens of millions of dollars to police departments across the state. Honestly, cops are salivating at the opportunities presented by the shoplifting scam. They get real money to fight a fake crime wave, and then they use it to fund new surveillance equipment and training and creepy new tactics to nail alleged thieves. If you want to fight crime at U.S. retail stores, stop going after imaginary shoplifters and take a look at wage theft. Every year, corporations steal tens of billions of dollars they rightfully owe their employees, impacting lower wage workers, people of color, and immigrant workers most of all. Not that you'd ever hear about it on Fox News.
Wow. Now, what do you think about that? Now, with that, think of how the propaganda has always been used against us. And it brings to mind, even like when it comes down to people like Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. She was so right. She hit it on the money. Now, in the meantime, we're talking about reparations. They're talking about genetic annihilation. And when you really put 2 and 2 together, that's why I always play the clips I do. Because their message has been clear for a minute. I wanted the time to pass to where everybody could see that, hey, this is truly an anti-Black agenda. And you've literally been able to watch it throughout its process. I'm sure some of you probably anticipate new tactics. that are going to come our way. And, you know, that's another good thing for the Twitter space. The Twitter space, well, X Spaces now, is because it gives a voice to everybody that may not have a platform. And all of these different ideas can kind of come out and be in the forefront in the open. Now, with that being said, you will also have think tank plants and all sorts of government agencies trolling these spaces because they have to know what's going on. They're not just going to let Negroes start gathering in these spaces and coming together at a meeting of the minds. So, you know, you also have to be mindful of disruptors, and disruptors come in all shapes and sizes, and manners of being as well. You know, so it's a fine line, but one thing you can always stick to is stick to the code, stick to the fact that we know we are all we got. We know where our ancestors built this place, and we know that we're owed a debt here. Regardless of how much people whine and cry about how they never had slaves and their ancestors never had slaves, that's irrelevant. You came here to enjoy the benefits of ill-gotten gains. So you are just as guilty. You're an accessory after the fact. And don't, you know, they have to be really specific with wording because the biggest Holocaust to date on the planet has been right here in this country. Because every last person that died in the hands of chattel slavery is a murder victim. So they have to be real and talk about that. Now, with that being said, the restitution on all of that, there's clear cause for reparations. We're not giving you. There is no we when we're talking about the United States government. The corporation of that government owes Black folks a debt. So when you have these politicians coming around telling you, well, you know, we need to vote for policies that will help us, because all of a sudden everybody else gets policy specific. When it comes down to us, you're talking about prices of insulin. Insulin. Every Black person in America is not a diabetic. Insulin? I mean, he said the prices of insulin. He cut those prices. Hooey. So, needless to say, we're not going to be able to fall for the banana in the tailpipe from these people. They come out with something, start using. Remember with the whole Asian thing, and we started pointing out the red shirt and the red hoodie, and all that was a thing, a consistent thing. It's like, okay, it happens so much in our face. We're able to describe, okay, well, this is how this is playing out. This is what's happening. And then you all of a sudden don't see anybody. Oh man, an uptick in anti-Asians. And let me just tell you something. Y'all Asian folks who are now crying and complaining, well, let me tell you something that you should have known. As once you was talking about, oh man, there's a uptick in anti-Asian crime, you should have just been setting your stopwatch by the time when these other folks was going to show up to make sure that they get all the attention. I mean, you got Zelensky over there talking to Great Britain now over there in their pockets, because that same group then came over here and put their hand in America's pocket and said, oh yeah, by the way, we need theirs too. And now you got everybody over here. Have y'all seen some of these press conferences? They're over here, yeah, we just don't have any more money for Ukraine. I mean, man, kind of tapped out, man. We're tapped. Oh, now you're tapped out. Yeah, there's no more money for Ukraine. After the last few billion and millions you gave, but there's no more. We're running out. You're gonna have to do something else. That's what's happening. So, the chickens is coming home to roost and good. We not finna let anybody sit over here and tell us that we're crazy. We're not gonna let these people tell us that they are not doing what they're doing with a blatant anti-Black agenda. And now they're on Capitol Hill saying we need illegals. They need to pick our fields and what this, and now I'll go back to that because what he is saying is we need slave labor again. That's what he's truly saying. We need slave labor again. Man, we had all that slave labor, and you know how he's talking about slave labor? Because he also mentions his genetic and the birth rates. Well, what does picking fruit out your field have to do with your birth rates? I'm going to play this one more time before we get up out of here, just so you know. He's talking, this is a Democrat, and how his mind is still tied and tied to that system. You're trying to make it sound different. But no, you want workers for your field to whom you can freely sleep with at your leisure. Am I missing something? Let me hear it again.
And we need immigrants in this country. Forget the fact that the farm that our vegetables would rot in the ground if they weren't being picked by many immigrants, many illegal immigrants. The fact is that the birth rate in this country is way below replacement level, which means our population is going to start shrinking. And the ratio of people on Social Security and Medicare is going to increase relative to the number of people supporting them.
And a lot of white folk have demonstrated eloquently that they don't have no sense
at all. So family, remember this.
You just want to claim a spot for the whole thing. Africa is not our home. Let me let that hang in the atmosphere for a while. I said at this gathering of the masters, Africa is not your home. It's not our home. But I know my roots. And I ain't Kunta Kinte. But I know my roots. And I ain't Kunta Kinte. But I know.
Yes, indeed. And, I think we shall get ready to go once more how we came in, hearing from one of the birthday honorees of this week. So salute to Dr. Khalid Muhammad, and also salute to Dr. Martin Luther King.
at the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land. through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
Reparations, not a study. Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall. And let us rise. Can you dig it? Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. So they're trying to put a lot of faulty energy in the mix, faulty energy in the game, and we are hip. And so here's another thing. We remember our elder scholars, and some of us are old enough to have met some. I mean, I'm one of those that was fortunate enough in my high school years to actually meet Dr. Khalid Muhammad. So, that is one individual, one of these icons that I've actually met. But, it's it's important. That's why I'm saying that you guys might want to treat yourselves to going and listen to some of these lectures from some of our elder scholars, because there's a ton out there. There's one. I think it might be like a Tony Brown show where I'm trying to think of who was on there. Dr. Oh man, is it Sartman and Dr. Clark and Dr. Ben Yakin? I believe it's those three. I mean, just going back and just looking at some of these scholars stuff, and you look at what's going on today. Man, they were giving us prophetic words, especially in Dr. Francis Cress Welson's case. You understand? Here's another thing too, as well. That do I still have that in here? I do. Let me point this out. Our real true black leaders, and these are the ones that we honor, all of those people were advocates for reparations. Dr. Khalid Muhammad's 7-point plan of action was end police murder, brutality, and harassment of our people. Number 2, self-defense of the black community. Build a black people's militia. Number 3, control of the politics and economics in our communities. Build independent political, social, and financial institutions in our community. Number 4, build independent community-controlled schools. Number 5, reparations for the descendants of, and I'll fix that one, the descendants of foundational Black Americans, the people who were enslaved in America, who built America. Number 6, free all political prisoners and prisoners of war. Number 7, self-determination for the Black nation. There might be one of you who says, all of that is just crackpot theory and hogwash, and you guys just don't like getting along and you must hate your ancestors because, see, they wanted integration. Even when, you got to remember, when the people that they talk about integration could have easily been taken off the rails by way of the same person to whom they champion for it today. But see, they made sure they got him out the paint before he could do that. So let's not reward these people who actually took our scholar elder off the planet by pushing the lie that they push, but let's instead push the word of Dr. Martin Luther King, because we are coming to get our check. And if you have a problem with it, well, let me say this. I speak for myself. beatzillapdx official, beatzillapdx official show. Pretty sure I speak for those of you in the chat, the grassroots, and the voices of new black media. I think it would be safe to say, if you trying to get in the way of this, we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
All right. Always remember hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
Family, you can follow me at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket by way of donation, you can do so at CashApp $beatzillapdx. That's CashApp $beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal, which is Zilla Muzak. That is ZILLA MUZAK at PayPal. And with that being said, family, it is the weekend. It is cold. I mean, it's cold. Right now it's 23, and I think the high tomorrow is 16. For those of you who come from those kind of climates that you teens don't bother, I'm from Minnesota. I'm sure this is nothing for you. But we don't much do that here. So let me tell you, it is cold. And, all of a sudden the snow coming in. So we're not having a white Christmas, but it looks like we are having a white Dr. Martin Luther King Day. So salute to anybody who is performing at the Martin Luther King Keep the Dream Alive celebration here in the city. If you guys are going to be in attendance to this long-running event, I don't know if it's still going to happen on Monday, but if you do go out, please be safe, because we are not going to be on the other side of freezing until about Wednesday. So please be safe if you are in the city of Portland, because we are moving in. We are in officially the deep freeze of our winter up here in the Pacific Northwest. Salute to you up there, my I-5 family. Bundle up and get your firewood, because it's cold, y'all. It is doggone cold. Oh boy, with that being said, family, y'all stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Keep your 3 smooth stones at the ready. And always have your slingshot nearby. Shalom, y'all. Have a blessed weekend.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.